Yes, welcome everyone. Happy New Year, one and all. This is the full 10 yards at betting podcast, week 17, last week of regular season action. So let's go win some cash. Yes, welcome in one and all. The week 17 debacle and the circus act that is week 17 in terms of betting rearing its head. Once again, loads of line changes, loads of touchdown scorer changes, absolutely everything changing in week 17 as you would kind of expect. We'll go through a couple of some of those and give you some tips. Obviously all the value pretty much is gone now, although we're trying to eke out a bit for you. Joining me as he always does every year, every week, is Mr. Adam Wolford. Happy New Year to you, my friend. How are you doing?
Happy New Year, mate. Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm unfortunately getting back to reality now. Obviously, only a couple more days off and then back to work again. So we've been tidying up all the Christmas stuff today. But yeah, I had a nice couple of weeks break over the holidays. So yeah, feeling good.
Very well deserved indeed. Okay, yeah. So like I say, week 17. Adam, is a week where it just absolutely goes mental. It's the kind of week where if you're a professional punter, or like not necessarily a full-time one, but one where you can spend a bit more time scrolling through Twitter, finding out beat reporters, and for any breaking news, because you're going to get teams that are resting players because they've already sewn up whatever's position they've got, or COVID, like Alvin Kamara over in the Saints. It really is one week where if you're a decent punter, you can get a decent edge and get your account suspended, I suppose.
Yeah. Some big prices. Obviously, Latavius Murray was 15-8 yesterday after the Kamara news. I got in him, and now he's out as well. So you're looking for that kind of thing and just trying to jump on things before the bookies realise.
Yeah, and so there will be the thing you will notice when we bring up the especially the handicap spreads, that there are some that just don't look right. I'm looking at you, LA Chargers. I'm looking at you, the Jets. I'm looking at you. There's some other teams there that just doesn't look right. But there we are. And the thing I will say is, if you are putting on bets for handicaps or total points, just kind of take into account what the teams are planning for, motivation, where starters are planning, that kind of stuff as well. So any concerns or anything where you are placing your bet, just give us a shout out, 14 yards, or I'm sure Adam will point you in the right direction as well at touchdown tips. And as usual, Adam has his good stuff coming out Sunday previews, which I no doubt will be next tomorrow as well. Difficult, yeah, absolutely. It is quite a lot of guesswork, and there are instances where you're going to have to guess how much motivation certain players have. There are some players that have stipulations in contracts for bonuses. There are teams that have conditional picks potentially on wins and losses, and you could be Adam Gase and still think you possibly have a job but will be fired in approximately 2 days' time either as well. So there we go. We'll have a quick look, Adam, at what we're going to look at first, the handicap spreads. Like I say, there are ignore the. You can tell we're using a Mac. Ignore the top banner on that. We'll work it out maybe for next year. But there are some funny ones. Like I said, I mentioned the Chargers 3.5 at the Chiefs for favourites. You don't see that in a month of Sundays, do you? But the Chiefs is resting everyone pretty much. But I actually still fancy the Chargers to lose that one. I still fancy the Chiefs. Don't like the 3.5 personally, but I think Matt Moore has shown in previous situations when he's been quarterback that he's been more than capable of doing that offense as well. And let's say the Chargers haven't got anything to play for, but it would be Chargers for them to win when they don't need to against the Chiefs. No, it depends. Andy Lynn possibly on the hot seat as well, so it'll be interesting to see how much he can get the guys fired up. And Justin Herbert obviously breaking the touchdown record for rookies last week might want to obviously extend that streak as well. I'll quickly run through them, Adam. Before I do, there any particular ones that strike at you is a bit weird?
No, obviously me and you have both got one of these games as napping next best, so obviously we'll get to that when we get there. The Saints with no run game could be interesting, but they've still got Ty Montgomery, Taysom Hill, who should be able to get it done, and the passing game's pretty much as it should be. Obviously the Steelers have gone massive now with Mason Rudolph quarterback. I'm not sure about them resting anyone else, so maybe a little bit high there because the Browns do tend to mess up against the top teams. Then obviously Washington 3.5 at the Eagles. Obviously the Eagles are desperate to give Washington the title to keep it away from the Cowboys. They seem to be benching everyone for that game, which seems a fairly cut and dry case of them throwing the game away just to stop the Cowboys, which is annoying because that's the Sunday night game. It would have been nice if they had them at the same time, but just to make it a little bit more interesting.
We've got nothing else to put on though. It's just literally it's either that or putting paint dry on, isn't it?
True. And then obviously Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are actually a decent line against the Rams with the backup quarterback, no Cooper Kupp, and obviously very little run game with Henderson definitely out. I assume Akers is out. I don't know.
He's an IR, yeah.
So yeah, Malcolm Brown leading the line. It's not exactly convincing for me. So that's another one I'll be looking at.
Yeah, let's say the couple strike out to me. The Ravens are absolutely going to slaughter the Bengals. 13.5 is a high line, but Jesus Christ. Dare I say the Ravens actually looked right last couple of weeks, and their run game is just going to run all over them. The Cowboys one, like I say, -1 is slightly interesting. I don't mind. I'd rather take money line than them at -1. But that was -3 during the week, so I'm not quite sure why the money's there coming for the Giants, considering that they have been absolutely putrid the last couple of weeks. Don't really get that as well. And to say that, Dallas defense has actually decided to turn up last couple of weeks as well. So, Cowboys certainly money line. I certainly do like that indeed. The Jets +3. I think Jets on a roll. They've got, no matter what their result they will be the number 2 pick come April 2020 in the first round of the draft. And, well, obviously all the fans of the drafts, but I think New England play a bit at Stidham. I think that the Jets will. Obviously, Adam Gase still thinks he's going to have a job come Monday. Newsflash for him, he's probably not going to. But yeah, they played quite well the last couple of weeks. Obviously, beat the Rams. And obviously winning last week as well. I just think they'll continue to play. And I think if you're Bill Belichick and you're the New England Patriots, what is the point of you winning? I know you're at home, you haven't got any fans. If you're winning, you're only going to worsen your draft pick. And since when do you ever see the New England Patriots have a top 10 draft pick in the draft? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? If we see that come April. But the Jets +3 I do really like. I know we've belittled them for weeks and weeks on team totals and at the start of the season. But yes, it's funny how times change. And then you mentioned obviously the Rams in Arizona. It's an interesting one, that game, because if the Green Bay Packers are blowing out the Bears in that game, it might well be worth taking some fourth quarter or second half action on Arizona, depending on what the scoreline is. If you've got a situation where the Packers are winning by 14, 21 or whatever against the Bears, and the Rams are maybe equal or maybe winning against Arizona, I would get all over Arizona for the third quarter and fourth quarter. But yeah, obviously that's an in-play one. And again, if you've got time to go and do that, then maybe have a look. But yeah, John Wolford at quarterback, no Cup, no running backs except Malcolm Brown. So Cardinals -3 for that one, as you can see there in front of your screen. But and I say Washington was actually 2.5 earlier in the week as well. So obviously, with everyone being sitted, that line again. Whilst I think Washington win, I don't like taking 3.5, as you well know. But if you manage to get 2.5, maybe if you want to juice it a little bit to pay a bit extra at slightly worse odds, take Washington -2.5. Alex Smith is trending the right way. I can't see how Washington don't win this game. Personally, not if all the people that sat out practicing on the injury report don't play in the game. But yeah, I expect the line to probably move even further to Washington's favour, despite them not being the most potent offense in the league. But they're not going to need to be when they're playing. Dallas did what they did last week with the end zone Ed Sheeran. Could be good night. Let's take a quick look then at some of the totals. Is there anything that strikes out to you? I've noticed that there's not actually a lot of. Let me take that on there. I noticed that there's actually not quite a lot of. It's quite a lot of low scoring ones this week. It's probably because you've got backups, you've got second strings, you've got injuries, and all the rest of it. Anything that strikes you at all, total wise, before I put them up?
It'd be nice if you put them up.
There you go.
Honestly, I have no idea. I'll probably have a better look in the morning, but yeah, at the moment, I mean, the likes of Cardinals v Rams at 40.5. Again, as you said, that could end up being quite high scoring in the end if they need to push it. And other than that, really, I mean, it's a crapshoot, isn't it? Could be anything in these games. I think I'm probably going to wait till probably 5 o'clock tomorrow and wait for the final team news and then try and make up some quick decisions then. But we just don't know. There's so many players rested, and every day there seems to be more on the COVID list. So yeah, it's just kind of, what do you do?
Oh, hello. Don't want to do that.
Well,
there we go. So for me, the big one, obviously the 56 there with Titans and Texans, that could well be a 50. That could be a 70-80 job. Derrick Henry and the Titans could put that over themselves. 2 really bad defenses, and Deshaun Watson keeps getting it done. So for the Titans. And I just think there'd be a lot of points there. That could be a high scoring one. I did like the Jets Patriots under, but I think that was mid-40s at the start of the league, so that's come down a hell of a lot. So I'll probably leave that alone now. Cardinals Rams is a leave alone. Normally, I think in normal circumstances, I'd say defense is on top in that one, especially with the Rams not going to be putting up too many points. But if some of one of those teams needs to put some points on the board, you could see a shootout there. So I'm going to leave that one well alone. Not too much else stands out to me. The Colts and Jags maybe under, maybe a tiny bit higher. I don't think the Jags are going to be doing too much to be quite honest, as they roll out the red carpet for Trevor Lawrence. And week 17 is never something I get too involved in totals wise. So.
No, and Washington versus Philly, 43.5. Obviously, as we said, Washington probably don't have the offensive power to put up too many points, but the Eagles don't want to win, so it's probably a decent under as well in the last game of the year.
It will be interesting. Obviously, Jalen Hurts playing quarterback. It will be interesting to see kind of what his motivation is and what he wants to, because he's a mobile quarterback. He could maybe run in for one or two, but the wide receivers I haven't seen. They've still got Boston Scott and they've still got Corey Clement there as well. They've deputized in previous weeks and previous seasons. So potentially, but again, stay away from me. There's too much going on where I don't really know what's going on. Maybe unders in the Dolphins Bills. I think there's supposed to be snow there as well, and could be a cagey one.
Okay.
I think obviously Fitzpatrick can't play in this one, so Tua is not filled me with much confidence in terms of putting points on the board for the Dolphins. So maybe unders in that game.
I do like Bills' first half in that one. The Bills have had the lead in 10 of the 15 games so far, and they may well rest starters in the second half if they get there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's move on then to some anytime touchdown scores. We've got some people getting in touch with us. Let's see what we've got here. RT Car 26. Thoughts on JJ Taylor 13-1 anytime for the? I assume that's is that Patriots?
That's Patriots. Yeah. I'll be honest. I have no idea who's going to play. So, you may as well give it a go. I don't know if they've mentioned about giving him more of a go this week or.
I saw him have a few carries last week. I saw his name. I think he gashed for a big one. But,
big little lad, isn't he? So.
Yeah, possibly. Like I say, if the Patriots are going to be shutting up shop and Turtlin don't really care, then possibly JJ Taylor's going to get more of the carries than perhaps what we thought. It's not a game I've looked too much into because I think the Jets are going to win and the Patriots aren't going to do anything. So I can't say I looked at the Patriots side. What else we got here? Happy New Year to you, Jack, as well. Thanks a lot for watching.
James Washington yards. There's nothing up obviously at the moment. I guess he'll probably be around 30 odd. I think he's normally about 25.5. So. Yeah, I'd be taking the over. Obviously, Rudolph and Washington have got history from their time in college, so that's one I would be looking at.
Yeah, but have you watched Mason Rudolph play though?
Yeah, but he's on the revenge for getting smashed in the head last year.
We'll get smashed on the other side.
When Miles Garrett was just trying to put his helmet back on for him.
Exactly, yeah. I noticed in our pre-show notes here you've got James Washington anytime touchdown score as well. So you might as well. That's a nice little bridge in there to all the other long shots and other anytime touchdown score you got. What you got?
Yeah, he's one of the longer shots. He's 11-2 on Unibet. I'll probably be taking, I think, 4-1 on Sky Bet for him. Also in that game, McFarland was 20-1. He's now into 16-1. The running back, he's third string, and he may well be behind Benny Sell and James Conner, but again, we don't know how much anyone's going to get game time. I think for me, I would give James Conner more the game time, try and get him back into a bit of form after injury. But yeah, McFarland is the change of pace back. He's pretty quick. He did a little bit with Snell when I was watching a few of those games over Thanksgiving, etc. Devon Smythe and Adam Shaheen for the Dolphins, both the tight ends. The Bills give up a lot over the middle of the field, so you've got them at 15-2 and 21-2. Keyshawn Vaughn at 15-2, I thought was fairly decent. The Bucks are probably locked into the number 5 spot. I think I can't remember if they can lose that or not, but Ronald Jones should be back. I wouldn't be surprised if they give Vaughn more. He did pretty well against the Lions in that route the other week, so I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a bit. Again, resting players, Darrington Evans for the Titans. If the Titans get quite far ahead, they gave Darrington Evans the fourth quarter last time out. Well, a couple of games back, and he scored. He's 9-1 anytime. Buddy Howell is the other side of the ball, 20-1 for the Texans. He's the running back 2 there with Duke Johnson, I think, still out. And then you've got JJ Arthega-Whiteside, 20-1 on Sky Bet, again, because of them resting everyone. They seem to be ditching a lot of people, so he might get a bit of the ball. They were the long shots, and then the shorter ones, a little bit more sensible ones. Gesicki, the other Dolphins tight end, 9-4. Gus Bus, 15-8. Michael Gallup, 9-4. Irv Smith Jr., 7-4. AJ Dillon, 4-1, if you think he's going to get another few carries after his blow-up game last week. Carlos Hyde, revenge game for the Seahawks, 4-1 against the 49ers. And Logan Thomas in that final game at 9-5.
Like it, yeah, like a couple of those. Yeah, I mean, touchdown scores is quite hard. Like I say, if you're not quick off the mark where you've got injuries or the rest of it, the book has actually been quite quick this week to take. They've just taken it down and just seeing kind of what the state of play is. But kudos to you getting your Ty Montgomerys and all the rest of them in. But yeah, the two that I can see that currently on the slate that still stand out to me a little bit. Van Jefferson, I thought 13-2 was pretty decent price considering Cooper Kupp is not going to play. John Wolford, obviously, I know he's not thrown a pass since pre-season of last year, but he's obviously been Van Jefferson probably would have spent a bit of time practicing with him in the seconds and the thirds or practice or whatever. But Josh Reynolds 7-2, he normally pops up when one of the guys, Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp is out anyway. So I thought him at 7-2 might be a slightly bit too high as well. You usually find him at around 2s when he's been getting the ball as well. So those are the two that I can only really find in some of the games. But there is a little bit of value maybe to be had, but especially with injuries, unless you're in there within the first 5-10 minutes of Rap Sheet or Schefter reporting on Twitter, you're generally going to miss out. So, but there we go. Lawrence says Boston Scott. I thought maybe Boston Scott might be a good shout if Miles Sanders sits as well. So yeah, keep your eyes on. Obviously, Miles Sanders hasn't been ruled out yet, but
he's out. He's out.
Oh, he has been ruled out. Okay, well,
yeah. Roto World said he's out.
When was that? Yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, value's gone on that then.
Boston Scott 5-2.
Okay, yeah, that's still pretty good. I don't mind that at all. 5-2, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, go for it, Lawrence. There we go. Just before we get on to anything else, the touchdown trebles on Sky Bet. Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Derek Henry 7-2 is the early one. Mike Evans versus Atlanta, Adam Thielen versus Detroit, and Ezekiel Elliott versus the Giants 9s. Any taking on that, Adam?
Early one's not bad. Obviously, it's short price, but there is a reason for that. And yeah, the late one. I mean, the other one. You just don't know who's going to play. I mean, the Vikings against the Lions, aren't they? As you said, Tampa, the Panthers, aren't they? No, they're not Panthers.
Tampa got Atlanta. Falcons.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd probably go 9-1 on it. I can't really argue with the price on that one. And yeah, the other one, 7-2. I don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think out of the two, I'll probably take the first one. But yeah, getting much shorter odds. Derek Henry should have. I don't know what his rushing line is for the week, but he should be. Right. Wouldn't be surprised me if he gets. Was he 200 yards or so to get 2,000?
220ish, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better matchup for week 17 against the Texans. If he gets that. Before we get out of it, Adam, obviously one team has got to miss from the AFC, one team's got to miss from the NFC. Any ideas on who you think will miss out on either side?
Obviously, I want the Bears to miss out, but they're obviously in at the moment. They're probably going to lose. I think the Bears probably miss out, and then the other side, I really don't want the Dolphins again. I don't know why. I just don't want them getting in. So I'd like them to not get through, and I mean, it's going to be interesting. If they win, they're through. They're in. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Hopefully the Dolphins and hopefully the Bears miss out. Okay. Well,
let's get out of here with our best bets then. So what is your best bet for week 17?
Yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys money line at 4-5. As you said, there just seems far too much on the Cowboys side of the ball compared to the Giants to kind of avoid that one. And the fact that it's come into -1 now and 4-5 on the money line, I'm happy to take that.
Yeah, indeed. That was going to be my next best, but I changed it. But certainly agree. 4-5. don't understand why there's money coming for the Giants, but they've been putrid last couple of weeks. I'm going to go with something slightly different. Don't normally go this far fetched for a best bet, but I've actually gone both teams to score a rushing touchdown in the Tennessee-Houston game. The over/under is 56 points, which generally means eight touchdowns. And if you have 8 touchdowns and you don't have a rushing touchdown either side, I will be gobsmacked. So 4-5 I thought was a tiny bit too short, too big for that. There was also another bet, each team to score a touchdown and a field goal in each half. I think it was 13-2 with the Sky bet. I was almost going to go for that, but we got Gostkowski's kicking the game, and I can't trust him to do that. Generally, Sky bet do both teams to score 10 points in each half, which I couldn't find. But if that even pops up, smash all over that. But I couldn't find it this week. I don't know if they've quit that market. But yeah, both teams to score a rushing touchdown. Derrick Henry's going to have an absolute field day. He will run one in the floor on the ground, and Ryan Tannehill is also running some over the course of the season, including 45-yarder last week. So he can do it if for some reason hell freezes over and Derrick Henry doesn't get into the end zone. But on the other side, like I said, Deshaun Watson is still playing hard, and David Johnson had a decent game last week. I think that they'll have enough to run one in as well. So I just thought 4-5 was pretty decent for that. Next best for week 17 is...
I've just looked at the Derrick Henry rushing yards, 117.5.
Jesus Christ, I'll probably still go over.
Yeah, just if he gets to 3 touchdowns at half time and they drop him, they bench him. I really like the both teams score rushing touchdown markets. Obviously, it's one I've been pushing on Twitter, and I know quite a lot of people getting involved with that one. Zeke at evens. I'm happy to take Mr. Elliott Evans. I know he's had a terrible season, frankly, but he popped up with 100 and something yards last week. Looks like he's bounced back to health. He said he's feeling better than he has done all season, apart from the first week of the season. So, yeah, I'm going to take him to score against the Giants. Obviously, big game for them, and we expect them to win. So, I think I'm going to stick with that. It's not often you get him at evens.
Yeah, it's not often you go napping next best for the Cowboys. You hate the Cowboys.
I know, I do, but I've got to use common sense.
Oh yeah, you want to come back next year? That's what it is. Or come back next week, isn't it? That's what it is. I'll move over to my next best. I hate taking it. I just can't see how it doesn't lose. New York Jets +3 at New England. I can't see New England even bother trying. I just think the players just give me the sense. I know they're depleted anyway. Obviously, Jacoby Myers has been holding the fort at wide receiver, and I know they've been doing some odd bits here in the run game. But Cam Newton's been awful this season. Jarrett Stidham could be in. New York Jets, regardless of the result, are the number 2 pick. They've played hard the last couple of weeks. Defense has been a bit better, and Sam Darnold, who knows, he's probably playing for a position, maybe even if not on the New York Jets roster, he's playing for a spot on the roster elsewhere in the NFL. So I just think the Jets +3 for a New England team that can drop a couple of spots, nearer towards the number 1 pick with a loss. I just think, I know it's at New England, but I just think the Jets +3. Again, Jets is for some reason Jets betting wise a team I've been following all year. So I'm go out on a high. Jets +3 against the New England Patriots, and confirm just a really bad season there for them. Let's see what we've got here. Some comments. Sonny Michelle +100 for thingy. I wouldn't bet on it personally, but there we go.
No chance.
Well, he looked all right. Was it last week he looked all right? I can't remember. He looked all right. He looked okay.
He's been around 60-odd yards both games, and his line's been about 50. So I have actually gone over on both the games. But yeah, obviously there's no lines up on the Patriots game at the moment. I was hoping for a line on Cam Newton passing yards, to be honest, because he's been under the last couple of weeks. But again, there's no lines up because no one knows what's going on.
No one does know going. But with that in mind, good luck with all your bets, everyone. Let's hope we can start off with a winning record, shall we say, in 2021. Adam, thank you for your time as always. Do you want to just the usual plug so I can get 30 seconds break?
Yep, usual stuff. At Touchdown Tips on Twitter, tdtips.com for my website. Also nfl-dfs.com. Tom Strachan's been doing his DFS picks every week for me on there. It's been really good read, and he's been doing really well with it, so that's really good. If you want to join my DraftKings League, it's dkng.co/TDTips. Get a free $10 when you deposit $10. And then there is details on either website on the DraftKings pages to join the league. I'll have contests going tomorrow, and obviously contests throughout the playoffs. Also, if you follow Season Long DFS, at Season Long DFS, I believe it is, on Twitter, he's doing a DFS competition for the whole of the playoffs, £10 entry, and you should. It should be decent fun. We've done it all year, 40 of us all year, and it's been really good. So yeah, it's worth having a look on there and having a word with Jamie and getting into that.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, we'll do some competitions as well over the course of the playoffs. I did tease that we'll give away a mini helmet, Chrome Jaguars helmet. I haven't thought of what we're going to do with that yet, but yeah, I'll give it away at some point. Yeah, make sure you join us. Come win our money as well as the bookies as well. That is always good. But Happy New Year to you, Adam. So we will have a post up on the website full10yards.com as we do every week with the betting, just so that if you don't want to watch us or listen to us for 25 minutes as it's rolling on now, you have it in written form as well. So I'll put that up a bit later tonight. Thank you everyone for listening. Happy New Year to you all. We'll be back next week, and we'll obviously less games to look at next week, so hopefully we'll bring you a slightly bit more in-depth preview in each of those, because we can kind of focus on them a little bit. But if you are a betting man and betting on the Super Bowl at the moment, Adam, who are you betting for the Super Bowl?
I've got the Chiefs a few times already, and I've been using my free bets on Sky Bet to back every other one from the AFC. So I'm currently I'm on all the AFC North. I'm on Browns, Ravens, Steelers. I'm on the Rams with a fiver, just to try and cover. Like, I've got probably about £200 on the Chiefs in various bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm just trying to cover that basically. But they haven't been good, but I'm still expecting them to step up when they need and get there. From the NFC side, I was on the Rams. I thought they looked really good a couple of weeks back, and then they've fallen apart. But yeah, I can't see anyone other than the Chiefs. The Ravens obviously have hit a bit of form, so I don't mind them at, I think, 14-1 or wherever they are now. But again, they're not even confirmed in yet. So see if the Bengals can ruin it for them again tomorrow.
Cool. Yep, we will have a look at the state of the playoffs on next week's podcast. Thank you again, all, for joining. We're back next week. In the great words of Kevin Cadle, it's bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.